the Lord Jesus and God Almighty that we have finally completed the most terrifying and traumatic journey I've ever experienced in my life. I've lived through multiple economic crises, a world health pandemic, and we are on the brink of World War III, and nothing I've experienced throughout my life truly stacks up to the events that have unfolded in this damn series. I've watched 6, 7, 8? I don't even know, dude. I don't even know how many of these I've watched because my brain is molten lava and melted jello at this point. I don't even remember how to count. I have no idea what the hell any of this means, but thankfully we can gracefully take a peaceful nap within the warm, loving arms of MatPat as he snuggles us in tight and he finally explains to us what the hell is going on. Film theory, don't hug me, I'm scared, Decoded. Dude, I don't even think Nicolas Cage could uncover these secrets, bro.
What's your favorite idea?
We're not gonna relive trauma.
Mine is being creative.
Oh yeah? Well, mine is unraveling the mysteries of insane viral videos.
Mine is spreading chaos and negativity to the masses, baby. Let's fucking go!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Film Theory, the YouTube version of your uncle who thinks that everything is a conspiracy. Why, yes, Uncle Bob, I do think it's strange that you never see a baby
Dude,
pigeon.
you shouldn't do that to me. You shouldn't talk about things that remind me of my uncle, dude, because those are some dark thoughts that I'm not even gonna...
The YouTube version of your uncle who thinks that everything is a conspiracy.
The YouTube version of my uncle is... I'm not even...
Why, yes, Uncle
I'm not gonna
Bob,
finish that.
I do think it's strange that you never see a baby pigeon, and I'm definitely interested to hear your theory about the government's involvement in that. Please tell me more. And it's that kind of mixture of insanity and analysis that brings us to today's topic, the independent internet darling, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. If you're unfamiliar with
Internet
DHEMIS,
darling.
it's a series of short films with puppets that looks to be inspired by shows like Sesame Street. But hold on there, all you neglectful parents raising your
Oh
kids
yeah,
off
Sesame Street, dude. Yeah, man, Sesame Street is a warm and happy time, dude. You learn how to count, you learn how to read, you learn how to draw, you learn about colors, dude. Yeah, man, and that's exactly what Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is. You learn how to tell time. You learn how to think creatively. Just like Sesame Street, dude.
Inspired by shows like Sesame Street. But hold on there, all you neglectful parents raising your kids off of YouTube videos. If any of you are looking it up
Elmo
right
is a
now to show your
murderer,
children,
bro. That's
you're
what I think.
probably gonna want to let me finish this sentence first, because each episode of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared features a bit of a dark turn towards the end, like arts and crafts with a real heart, or a giant can eating a duck alive. Oh yeah, you're in that part of YouTube again. But
I've
even though
still
Don't
got
Hug Me, I'm Scared
images.
is genuinely one of the weirdest things I've watched on YouTube. I really like it. It's really well done, and you should absolutely watch it. At its core, this series is all about YouTube. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared
say
creators
absolutely.
Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling pretty much started this from scratch on the site. The first episode came out only 3 months after I uploaded my first ever episode of Game Theory. It's a long time ago, so I feel like we have a kindred history here. But also
Is it a HIPAA violation to know the asylum status of individuals? Is that a HIPAA violation, dude? I feel like it should be public record on whether or not these two have escaped from a psych ward. Okay? Because the safety of the public is at risk having those two roam free, bro.
First episode came out only 3 months after I
Do we have any
uploaded my
HIPAA
first ever
experts?
episode of Game Theory. It's a long time ago, so I feel like we have a kindred history here. But also I like it because this show refuses to be categorized. It's got puppets, but it also has animation in a lot of different styles.
It also
and then
has
if you wait long
mental
enough, it also
trauma.
has some live action sequences. All of these different styles are one of the things that makes it really hard to interpret. These videos episodes aren't interested in playing by anybody else's rules, and that makes it really exciting to watch. But last, and probably most importantly, is the amazing attention to detail these videos have. The number of callbacks and Easter eggs in every episode is astounding. Some of them you have to practically watch frame by frame.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed that, dude. I must have missed the calendar magnetized to the side of the refrigerator while I was being emotionally tormented by a psychotic dancing raw rare steak, dude. My fault, Matt Pat. I must have missed it, dude, when I was getting virtually tormented by a demonic computer from the pits of hell, digitally hacking into my emotions. My fault.
Is the amazing attention to detail these videos
I must have missed that.
The number of callbacks and Easter eggs in every episode is astounding. Some of them you have to practically watch frame by frame to even see. And you,
oh my god!
Some of them you have to practically watch frame by frame.
That? Hold up. Something's... I don't trust that guy. Something is up with this dude, and I will figure it out.
Even see, and you know.
Roy! His name's Roy! You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about Roy? When I was in middle school, not middle school, elementary school, more specifically, the first grade, okay? When I was in the first grade, I had a friend, and his name was Roy. And he looked exactly like that. And he had a rat tail. And he lived in a trailer park. And he was a known crier. And his face would turn very bright red. And he got in trouble all the time. Fucking Roy, dude.
Some of them you have to practically watch frame by
Shout
frame.
Roy. I wonder how Roy's doing
and
today.
You know, that's the kind of stuff that makes me, and obviously tons of other theorists out there, really excited. There are a lot of different ways to interpret Don't Hug Me, but today, for our first theory on this series, that's right, I said first, more on that later, we're gonna talk about what the whole thing means. An overview of the main themes of the whole series. Granted, we're not the first people to try and do this.
Death,
YouTube and Reddit were flooded
slaughter,
with theories when the last episode went up. But I
agony,
really tried to do my homework on
suffering.
this one, and I
Those
got
are
an
the things.
explanation for Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared that'll convince even the most skeptical of theorists. Be warned, comprehensive spoilers lie ahead, but then again, this entire thing is on YouTube, and it's just 6 episodes that are between 3 and 8 minutes each, so just go watch it, like right now. Anyway, you all ready? Fantastic. Let's get
Not really.
creative. If we're hoping to explain
Not
what's
really.
going on in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, we first need to establish what kind of world we're in. A lot of theories...
A world I want absolutely no part of. A world I have no dreams of dominating. You guys know me. World domination. That's the ultimate goal. Not this fucking world, dude. You can have it. You can have it, bro.
I'm Scared, we first need to establish what kind of world we're in. A lot of theories look at the bizarre events in this series as evidence of something sinister, such as the 3 main characters, to whom I'll be referring to from here on out as the red guy, the yellow guy, and the duck, being stuck in purgatory or some sort of nightmare.
So they
To
were
that I say,
brutally slaughtered.
Occam's razor, my friend. A better explanation is one that's a lot simpler. These 3 are just stars of a children's television show. Granted, it may not be a very nice Occam's razor, my friend. A better explanation is one that's a lot simpler. These 3 are just stars of a children's television show.
A television show. A children's television show. You're telling me that this is a children's television show? Death, slaughter, emotional damage, mental instability. This is a children's TV show.
Granted, it may not be a very nice children's television show, but
What happened to Blue's Clues? Max and fucking Ruby! You don't see Max and Ruby slicing out human hearts and baking intestines into apple pies?
children's television show. Granted, it may not be a very nice children's television show, but the evidence is there. There
what
are
makes you say
several
that?
instances in which we see
What
the
makes you say
inner
that,
workings of
Matt?
the show. We see clapboards and cameras right in episode 1 at the start of the creativity montage. Then again in episode 4 when the red guy follows the computer wire to the next room, and in episode 6 as the lamp explains dreaming to the yellow guy. We can also tell that most of the
Oh my god! Dude, see, how you gonna throw in those little details in all of that madness? One episode of Don't Hug Me is pure chaos, and you expect me to...
These characters are on sets. This is most obvious when Duck revolts in episode 5, saying, the perspective of the video changes, indicating that Duck has hit the camera that's filming him, and when the camera looks upward, we can see the characters aren't actually in a house with a ceiling, but in a studio with lights overhead. The other obvious tip-off is that our 3 main characters are basically archetypes of what you'd see on Sesame Street. The yellow guy is a human puppet, like Bert or Ernie, the duck is an animal puppet, like Snuffleupagus or Big Bird, and the red guy is some sort of humanoid...
Snuffleupagus? What kind of animal is that, dude? If I ever see an animal that looks like Snuffleupagus, I'm running it over.
Is an animal
turning into a mink coat, bro. Animal.
Puppet like Snuffleupagus or Big Bird, and the red guy is some sort of humanoid monster like a Grover or Oscar the Grouch, or those aliens that go meep 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 all the time. Those things utterly freaked me out, by the way. And if this is indeed a TV show, it would explain some of the Easter eggs we keep seeing in later episodes. As Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared progresses, we start to see some of the same props appearing over and over again. At the beginning of episode 4, we can see a statue of Malcolm from the previous episode on the fireplace next to the clock. At the
Who the hell is Malcolm? How do you know his name is Malcolm? This is all, he's got a name tag, dude. You know him personally, Matt? It's like, that's your boy? Malcolm, that's you go way back, dude. You was at the country club together. No, what the fuck is Malcolm?
Episode 4, we can see a statue of Malcolm from the previous episode on the fireplace next to the clock. At the start of episode 5, we see the number chart the computer uses in episode 4 attached to the refrigerator, and then there are other props, like the red, blue, and yellow baseball cap that keeps showing up episode after episode. These aren't just cool Easter eggs.
I did notice the cap. I did notice the cap, dude.
The set with props they've used before instead of having to buy entirely new props and set pieces every time. This is common not
I have
just
noticed the
TV
cap.
shows, but also across productions as a way to save money. There are examples of this practice all over film and TV, like the newspaper from No Country for Old Men showing up in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
What are we just talking about? Who's watching that? Somebody just said that they were watching this movie. I've never seen it, and now I'm the universe. It's a sign, bro. Literally, somebody just typed that.
Film and TV, like the
That's
newspaper
weird.
from No Country for Old Men showing up in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even better, Modern Family. The armor from Starship Troopers also makes an appearance in Firefly, or Star Trek literally reusing an entire space station in 2 completely separate productions. There's one other juicy bit
It's
of
just
pure
upside
state in
down.
episode 6 that strongly points to the whole thing being a TV show as well. When the yellow guy is in bed looking through his scrapbook, we see a picture of the red guy.
Look at Roy and his ugly ass, dude. Why is it black and white? Did he burn it with fire? He should've.
Who wasn't in episode 5 except for the credits, and whose bed is empty at the start of episode 6, wearing a graduation cap. Other theorists have suggested that this means that Red Guy is a teenager who grew up and went out to the real world, but going off to college is also a way for a television show to explain the sudden absence of a main character.
Blue's Clues! Oh my god, Blue's Clues! They had Steve go to college! And then there was a hoax that he died! Blue's Clues!
For instance, at the end of season 4 of Blue's Clues, the original host Steve announces that he's leaving Blue to go off to college, when in actuality that was just the show transition.
It killed him off, dude. That's when the anime kills off a character. You know what I mean? Or there's like an entire TV show that's like 7 seasons deep, and then they find out that one of the main actors is like a raging racist or like a homophobe, and then they fire him from the show, but then they need to have a way to like get rid of him on the actual show, so they like kill him. Right, they like get in a plane crash, like they die in a car accident, dude. That's what happened here, bro. Steve got ran over by that bus.
Steve go and do whatever weird artsy films that he's working on now. And no, internet, he did not go off and die of a heroin overdose.
That was insane. That was insane. Dude, imagine waking up in the morning and finding out that you died. Imagine you wake up in the morning and then you're trending on Twitter because you're dead, bro. Do you mourn your own loss? Do you feel grief for yourself like you're dying, like you're dead, bro? Dude.
TV show like 3 years ago. Fact check, internet. Man, you guys are dark. Then again, we are talking about a series of videos where one of the puppets dies in a vat of oil and another gets his intestines ripped out. So, yeah. Internet is a dark, dark place. All right, great. So Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is a kids' TV show. Awesome. But what does it mean? What the heck are the makers of the show trying to say? Well, the first part of this is fairly obvious. Television messages that are delivered to children are corrupting them as much as they're helping them. Those episodes of Sesame Street? Oh yeah, leading your kids down a dark path.
Let's go, dude. Big Bird teaching the kids how to trap on the block, bro. Yeah, bro. Cookie Monster, you think Cookie Monster was in the kitchen whipping up the cookie dough? Stop, bro. Just stop, bro. Just stop, dude. Oscar the Grouch was a homeless heroin addict. That's why he lived in a dumpster, because it was the only warm place he could find in the winter.
Brainwashing destruction. I'm looking at you, Big Bird. At least according to DHEMIS. You don't think so? Just look at each episode. The pattern here is pretty clear. Each one has a theme you'd expect to see on a show like Sesame Street. Creativity, how time works, love, technology and computers, healthy eating, and dreams. But in every instance, that message gets corrupted. And not just by decaying flesh or catching your dad watching porn or a human heart covered in glitter.
Catching a what? Who to what? Whoa, doing a what with a who?
Just by decaying flesh or catching your dad watching.
Wait a minute! First of all, why did I never notice the hub? Second of all, Dad? Dad? Roy is my dad! Is that where he's been this whole time, dude? Motherfucker, where's my where's the milk, dude?
Instance, that message gets corrupted. And not just by decaying flesh or catching your dad watching porn or a human heart covered in glitter. Let's take it episode by episode. Episode 1 is all about the virtues of creativity, except it portrays certain types of creativity as being right and wrong, claiming that green isn't a creative color and that the yellow guy's picture of a clown deserves to be destroyed because it's somehow creative in the wrong way. Episode 2 tries to explain the concept of time, but that explanation is overly simplistic and teaches that time is important, even though kids still can't understand it from the way it's being taught. The clock answers questions about time like,
but when did it start?
And when will it stop?
with weird evasive answers like,
Time is important, and I am a clock.
then when the duck finally tries to explain time scientifically, the clock yells until Yellow Guy's ears literally start to bleed.
Oh my
In episode 3, the
God.
Yellow Guy learns about love
This
from a
is
butterfly.
psychotic, dude. Dude, this is really teaching the youth, bro. This is really, dude. The future is in good hands, bro. If these are the lessons, dude.
Pesky bee?
Or bee.
A little baby pigeon.
Or little baby pigeon, or whatever, and teaches him about feelings, but then later learns that love is only okay when it's followed in a certain way, particularly
Yeah,
as it
dude.
applies-
Fuck love, bro. Fuck love, dude. Agony and sadness, bro. That's what it's all about.
learns that love is only
That's what it's all
okay when
about.
it's followed in a certain way, particularly as it applies to religion. Episode 4 is all about computers and how they can teach us a lot about the world, but at the end simply conclude that in the digital world, people end up doing frivolous things like fashion and shopping and mindless entertainment. They're literally
Wow, dude. If only there was a Chinese app that allowed you to do all of that on the same platform in about 15 seconds. Wonder I've seen that. It's got relations to clocks, dude.
frivolous things like
Where have I
fashion
seen
and
that
shopping
before?
and mindless entertainment. They're literally getting sucked into a computer and distracted with all these superficial things rather than the information they were looking for in the first place. Then in episode 5, the characters are supposed to learn about how to eat healthily, but the advice of the canon
Just eat ass,
is
dude.
confusing and contradictory. And this food pyramid is just terrifying.
The food groups can easily be sorted using the simple health
Is that a mushroom?
shape.
It's also about how certain name brand products are good for you and
Just
others
what? Like the mushroom has its own like food group, right? You've got like your meats. You've got your what is it? What the fuck is it? The wheats? I don't know, dude. They put like the bread and the potatoes there, dude. I don't fucking know. The starches, right? The vegetables, and then just mushroom.
The simple health shape.
It's also about how certain name brand products are good for you and others are bad. The underlying theme here is clear. The kid show these 3 characters are in throughout the entirety of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared sets out to deliver lessons about the world, but either fails miserably or succeeds in intentionally brainwashing kids to a specific point of view. But why? Why are the creators of the show so cynical about kids' programming?
Because they are cult leaders, which explains why they're so psychotic. I think that explains right there, dude.
Are they trying to say that there's some big conspiracy behind kids' TV shows? Well, yeah, actually. Definitely seems that way. Dig a little bit deeper and there's evidence that the show's creators are railing against not just kids' TV, but the makers of kids' TV and what their goals really are. Not in educating kids, but in making money.
Oh, so this entire Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series that mentally traumatized me for all eternity was just one giant diss track. That's what you're telling me? That's what you're telling me, but instead of dissing the fellow rapper, they dissing the whole label, bro.
Series, we see visuals all about earning money, such as the very first thing you see in Don't Hug Me, a newspaper which reads, "Stocks flying high," along with a figure that seems to imply that the
Is that some new coin? Right, you got like the Doge coin. Is that like a duck coin? Is this, dude? I see the conspiracy right here, bro. The newspaper company's doing a rug pull. They're hyping up the duck coin so they can clear out, bro.
paper which reads, "Stocks flying high," along with a figure that seems to imply that the value of the British pound is increasing. We also have subtler clues, like a board game in the background of episode 4 that's titled Money Win. But the most important element of this is in a very small detail. Any fan of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared knows that each of the episodes takes place on June 19th. But what you have to look closer to see is the year. You can actually figure it out from episode 1. That newspaper headline about stocks soaring in the UK is no accident, and it's not fiction. If you look at stock records for June 19th over the last 100 years, there's one year in particular where stock markets were hitting record highs on that date, in 1955.
Oh my
In
God, I
1955,
wasn't even
stock markets
alive!
all over the world, including the US and UK, broke practically every record imaginable when the markets opened. And if this was good evidence in episode 1, in episode 2...
1955. What was that, dude? What was that? World War II was the early 40s, right? What happened in 1955? What happened?
Stock markets all over the world, including the US and UK, broke practically every record imaginable when the markets opened. And if this was good evidence in episode 1, in episode 2, we get our definitive proof. When the clock mentions that the past is far behind us, we see a picture of all 3 main characters.
Oh my God, 1955!
With the date underneath that reads 1906-55. The 1906 part obviously stands for June 19th, since the Brits put their date
Those damn Brits.
before the month, with the 55 confirming our year. But why? Why 1955? Well, 1955 was actually a huge deal in British television history. Prior to 1954, the British Broadcasting Corporation, or BBC,
BBC.
BBC held a monopoly on British television. But it was 1954 that the UK passed what became known as the Television Act, in an effort to bring an end to that BBC monopoly. This act led to the establishment of the first alternative network called ITV, for independent TV, in 1954.
I love how this entire thing was to break up the monopoly of BBC. It's 2022, and the only network in the UK that I know of in existence is BBC. Like, I've never heard of... What other... Do they have NBC? Do they got Food Network in the UK? Like MTV?
Alternative network called ITV, for independent TV, in 1954. While the BBC is sponsored by the British government,
You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body and shit it all out. Why is that the first thing that you type?
ITV is independent and therefore has to make its money through advertising. Now, in interpreting this series, other YouTube channels, most notably YouTube Explained, have covered this topic, but they've said in the context of Don't Hug Me that this was a good evolution. I see it the opposite way, and I'm pretty sure the creators of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared would agree, and here's why. This was the first time that advertising appeared in British television, marking an inflection point at which television went from a medium to communicate and entertain to a medium to make a profit, thereby giving executives and advertisers as much and often
Dude,
more.
advertisements piss me off, bro. Because think about it, right? On cable, right? Let's say you're watching cable. We're in the middle of a great scene, and then boom, it blacks out for fucking Frosted Flakes commercial. Dude, it's some fucking sinus medicine that has side effects of your brain melting, and then you gotta shit all out of your ass, right? That kind of stuff, dude. And so then you're like, okay, let me hop on Netflix. Let me hop on Netflix, dude. Pay me $10 a month, no ads. I can watch whatever I want, dude. Pay $10, boom. Now you still got ads on Netflix. YouTube ads. Snapchat ads, Instagram ads, TikTok. I don't even have TikTok, but I guarantee you there's fucking ads on there, dude. There's ads at the bus stop. There's ads everywhere, dude. There's ads in my bedroom. I'm an ad. For sex, dude.
Power than the creators. And Britain was especially sensitive to TV advertising. I mean, in the US, we were already used to interrupting TV programs with ads, or not even interrupting them at all. In the US, it was actually standard practice at the time to bleed those regular shows into an ad. So one minute you'd be watching the Flintstones, and then all of a sudden they'd be selling you cigarettes. No joke. Or watching a game show and then being sold dishwasher detergent in the middle. One piece of evidence that was used against ads was that in the US, the coverage of Queen Elizabeth's coronation was interrupted by a commercial with a dancing monkey named J. Fred Muggs. The British...
Honestly, dude! Honestly, let's be real here. Let's be real here. What would you rather see? The coronation of Queen Elizabeth or J. Fred Muggs walking on the haters? Be honest. Be honest. Which one did you... I ain't even mad at this one, dude. Dude, just let every ad in existence for forever just have J. Fred Muggs just shaking ass, dude. And I wouldn't even be mad. I wouldn't even be mad, dude. Let J. Fred take that sinus meds, bro. Dude. Be honest. Come on now. Coronation.
By a commercial with a dancing monkey named J. Fred Muggs. The British
Let's fucking
considered
go.
advertisements like that embarrassing.
Let's
Quite frankly,
go.
rude. You don't interrupt their queen.
Dude, that's the ultimate fuck you to UK. Oh. You guys are inducting a new queen? Okay, here's a fucking dancing monkey. He starts hitting the fucking Fortnite, the fucking L dance, bro. Dude, that's hilarious, bro. Dude, that's funny as fuck, bro.
Guys just like that, embarrassing, and quite frankly, rude. Don't interrupt their queen with a monkey. So 1954
That's funny.
and 1955 were years that were filled
Maybe
with
that's why the
debate
British hate us so
about when
much.
and how to allow ads onto TV. And if the behavior of Becky and Joe, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared's
That's
creators
funny.
is any indication, the issue of ads influencing TV is a big concern of theirs. According to the newspaper The Guardian, Becky and Joe received offers from more mainstream sources to make episodes of Don't Hug Me, but turned them all
Isn't Don't Hug Me gonna be a TV show now? The irony. Is there gonna be commercials playing during the show when it drops? I'm assuming on Adult Swim, bro. Cause what are your options for dropping this show? You've got Adult Swim, and then you've got like PBS. Like what? Like I hope it's on Adult Swim. It's a show for kids. They'll show it on PBS at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the kindergartners get home from their half day at school. They sit down in front of their TV with some animal crackers, bro. Right? Right after Arthur cuts off. Right after Arthur cuts off, and Maya and Miguel. Right? They show 2 episodes of Maya and Miguel, and then they show Don't Hug Me. You got your juice box.
and Joe received offers from more mainstream sources to make episodes of Don't Hug Me, but turned them all down and funded the project themselves through Kickstarter. Joe Pelling was quoted as saying, "We wanted to keep it fairly odd and have the freedom to keep doing exactly what we wanted." The implication here is clear. If Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared were made for television, it would have had to have been approved by other people whose interests would have been for profit or popularity, not about the message of the show. And when you look at these 6 episodes, it's pretty
Dude,
clear.
this is a good thing though. This is a good thing though, because this is what happens with a lot of creative mediums, right? Things that are like YouTube videos that get turned into TV shows, or underground artists that get signed to big labels and stuff like that, right? Once the big dogs get a hold of things, it like ruins it. It ruins the integrity. It ruins the charm of things. You know what I'm saying? And so when you have the big corporations, right, they're motivated by money. So they're not going to keep the same integrity of the show as it is if it's not going to bring in as much money as possible, right? But them going about it this way, right? Them doing it all themselves, they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? The show can be exactly how the show is supposed to be. The same original integrity, the same charm, the same appeal to it is still going to be there because it's not touched by the dirty, sweaty, stinky, poopy hands of the capitalists. You know what I'm saying?
Not about the message of the show. And when you look at these 6 episodes, it's pretty clear that the messages for a positive, good, inspirational, entertaining kids show are there, but they've been perverted by the influence of an outside force. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is ultimately a parable for the
Roy is a capitalist, and I knew it.
influence of an outside force. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared is ultimately a parable for the loss of control that artists trade off when they work on bigger screens. Their messages are manipulated and their morals are poisoned by others with ulterior motives. And with that, I'm gonna have to leave you hanging. I know, I'm sorry. I recognize that we're just starting to scratch the
My
surface
God,
of the series,
dude.
but establishing this series as a launching point was really important for answering all the other questions that we haven't gotten a chance to touch on today. Who are these characters?
Who the fuck is Roy?
Really? What is the significance
What drugs was I given?
of June 19th?
Am I still alive?
What about Roy, the
Why did my father leave me?
figure the yellow guy claims is his dad? And what does the ending mean? But don't worry, we're getting to all those questions and more in just another
God,
week. Which means that the
bro.
lesson of today is subscribing.
Dude, go sub. Bro, I didn't think that this could get any worse, but now, oh yeah, by the way, this is a show for small children, right? Teaching them about the joys of life, creativity, healthy eating, time management, and also the really important values of life, right? Like consuming human flesh, committing homicide and brutal slaughter, mental trauma, and emotional damage. You know, the things that really make kids grow up. You know what I'm saying? Really, the things that really build character, dude. Now this is all starting to make a whole lot of sense.